Granpuff. Once upon a time, 3 little engines lived in their own little shed on their own little railway. Duke was brown, Falcon blue, and Stuart green. Duke was the oldest. He had been the first engine on the line and named after the Duke of Sodor. He was proud of this and wanted everything just so. Whenever the others did anything they shouldn't, he would say, "Other engines came and went, but Duke outlasted them all." Stuart and Falcon used to call him Granpuff. Duke was fond of them and tried to keep them in order. They were fond of him too, as he was so wise and kind, but they did get tired of hearing about his grace. Sometimes they would wink at each other and chant solemnly. Duke would say indignantly, said Duke. Stuart and Falcon were unusually good for several days. Stuart and Falcon became useful engines and all 3 were happy together for many years. But hard times came, the mines closed one by one, and the engines had little work to do. At last, their line was closed and people came to buy the engines. "We'll take Stuart and Falcon," they said. But no one wanted Duke. They thought him too old, called Stuart as they went away. They all laughed bravely, but not one of them thought it would ever come true. Duke's driver and fireman oiled and greased him. They sheeted him snugly and said goodbye. They had to go away and find work. Duke was alone, locked up in the shed. He wondered. But his Grace had been killed in the war, and the new Duke, a boy, hadn't heard of his little engine, said Duke to himself. Years passed. Winter torrents washed soil from the hills over the shed. Trees and bushes grew around. You wouldn't have known a shed was there, let alone a little engine asleep inside it. Have you guessed about Stuart and Falcon? Yes, you're quite right. They came to the Thin Controller's railway. He gave them new coats and new names. Stuart became Peter Sam and Falcon Sir Handel. They preferred their new names. That was a long time ago, but they never forgot Granpuff and often talked about him when alone. They were excited to hear that the Duke was coming to Skarloey and Rhaenyra's 100th birthday, but most disappointed with the Duke who actually came, for he was only a man. But we must say no more, or we'll spoil the next story.